Hello and welcome back to that Andy's YouTube channel. Before I was gonna do a video basically describing like another Going Rogue episode. It's gonna be on the Dino Boy Tyrantrum, but after some testing and some unfortunate bugs with TCG Live, and just overall feeling like the deck wasn't rogue enough because most of the time I was basically becoming just an okie dokie deck and it wasn't very fun. I thought, hey, let's do something a little bit different and a little bit, cool. So today, I think we are gonna do a tier list on the decks in the current post rotation meta. I know there's a lot of people doing tier lists right now, especially because the regional of Prague is coming up this weekend. But I thought for the less competitive but not like seriously competitive folks like me, we'll do a tier list just for like league cups and what overall my thoughts on the current meta is. So we're gonna go into that now, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna start the tier list simply with Dragapult, as I think it is the best deck in the format. But we're gonna start with just putting on the Dragapults. I do only have the three variations on here. A straight Pult with the Meowth, the Monkey Dory is number one. Dragapult Dusknoir, and then Dragapult Blaziken. Personally speaking, I think the best out of the three is the straight Dragapult, and then followed by Dragapult Blaziken, and then Dragapult Dusknoir. I think both are good. I just think the straight Dragapult has a lot more lines and it's not as linear as the other two. And then from Dragapult Blaziken has won a decent amount online, and even the tricky gym like Perfect Rotation event, Austin Charles one of that, and I think the deck has a lot of potential. I think straight Holt has more with the Meowth, the Zero, even the Monkey Dories. You just have so many more lines. And the Dragapult Death I think could go up here to S, but I don't think it's going to end up making it yet. I think there is a possibility for it, but just not going to happen yet. So for now, I'm going to leave it in A, but just behind Dragapult Blaziken, because I'm a little bit biased, because I think this deck is really strong and I actually really like playing it. Number next one is Enzorark. I think Enzorark is okay. I want to put it in A because I think you can tech a lot for what you're facing. I think the biggest issue right now is just there's so much grass running around, so I think it has to be the top of B tier. I think this deck in future formats might go all the way up to S, depending on what the meta looks like. But currently, I think it's B. It's solid. It can win a lot. It has good matchups. It's just the grass decks kind of knock it down. The next one I would like to talk about is Grimmsnarl Frostlass. I've seen some other tier lists that people created that has it all the way down to D. I think D is too low. I think given that it just got second in the I think Fueca Champions League, I think the deck has to at least be a B tier deck, as Grimmsnarl still can be strong. If you saw my short or TikTok, you notice that the Rare Candy build has got a lot more popular, and I think that's going to really help the deck grow. So we're going to put it in B for now. I think it might be at near the end of B, but for now, I'm just going to put it in B. And then Alakazam the Dunsparce. They actually won the Champions League. And I actually think it's a really solid deck. I think there is counters and there's a lot of metagame going around with the deck. But I still think it's really strong. If you bring it to a League Club, you have a good chance of winning. I do think the deck does take some skill. It's not as straightforward as, like, for example, it's like Rocket's Mewtwo that I have down here. But I think Alakazam the Dunsparce is really good, and I actually think it's an A tier deck. It has really good matchups. Dragapult can, wipe it up pretty good, especially the Death Note build. But I think the actual Alakazam is an A tier deck, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it at least top card or like come second a lot in the future. Next up is Lucario Hariyama. I'm pretty high on this deck, as I think there's many different builds. Lucario is very strong early. I want to put it in A tier, but I think that's just too much, and there's too much Psychic. Like, there's Lily's Clefairy in like so many decks that I think you have to at least put it in B. I think it's behind Enzorark, but has the potential to be really good play in the future. But it's just there's too much Psychic and there's too much of these like grass box decks that can really like punish Lucario, especially like the Ogerpon Meganium deck, which is the next deck we're talking about. I think this grass deck overall is an A tier deck. I think it has so many different opportunities and so many different variables that I think you could definitely like win or like scam games with it. Especially like you just draw so many cards, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I do like it. I do think it's a cool play. It could be up here with the Dragapult, but I just don't think there's enough developed yet for it. I do really like the Arboliva. I still think it can get like run off the board if you just get them a game snipe, but I think there's something here. I just don't know if it's fully fleshed out yet. Next is Rocket's Mewtwo. I'm actually fine Rocket's Mewtwo like, being like a B tier deck. It has really good matchups into the Dragapult, into the Alakazam. It just feels like sometimes the deck doesn't function. I don't know how else to explain it. It's sometimes you just draw slow, or just some weird awkward states. The deck with all the support should be up here in S. It really, really should be, but I don't think it's gonna actually end up in S at all. In one format, it just feels like it's missing something. I don't know what it is, but the Spider Ops is good. Grass and Psycho are both really good types. It has really good matchups into everything. When you actually play the deck, though, it just feels like it's missing something. So I don't know what else it could be, but it just feels kind of in middle of the pack. So I'm going to put it in B. I think it's better than the Grimmsnarl Frostlass, and you can make an argument for it's better than Lucario Hariyama. It could maybe be just behind Enzora. I just like the options of the Lucario Hariyama more because you can play different A specs. There's like tank Lucario going around. There's just a lot. I think it's cool, but I just don't think it's there quite yet. Raging Bolt Orcapon is the next deck. I like it. I think it has really good matchups into the Bolt, into the Dragapult, but I like to think it's the top of C tier. I think the deck list that I've seen going around the most is like the Pokemon Pocket deck list. That's what people are calling it. I think it's really cool. I think it's really fun. I just don't know if it's there quite yet. I think it needs a couple more development or some type of rotation. Not rotation, obviously, if it rotates, it'll be gone. It just needs something. I don't know what it is. I think it has the potential to go up to A, even S. I wouldn't be surprised if a regional player like comes out of nowhere and dominates a tournament here or there, or you just take it to locals and win. I just the deck just feels sometimes like weird to me. I don't know. Next one is Starmie Frostlass. Before Perfect Order came out, I thought this deck was insane. I thought this deck would be all the way up here in S. After playing games with it, sadly the deck doesn't make it there. I think it's top of D tier, if you want to call D tier a tier. It feels really good, and you could like win games, especially online, pretty quickly with the Frostlass and like the Starmie combo. But when you actually face good players, it just kind of you're too one-dimensional. It feels like so you kind of just are out of the loop with it. At least that's just how I feel the deck. You can let me know down below what your things are. I think that might be something there, at least with the Mega Starmie, but just nothing there quite yet. So I'm gonna leave it in D tier. Now, Cynthia's Garchomp is really interesting to me. I actually think the deck functions really well. I personally think there is a spot for it. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually Cynthia's Garchomp maybe wins a tournament here or there, like a regional, but I just, with this grass weakness, it's very hard to maybe put it higher than B tier. I think grass is really strong. That's my main thing. So I'm just going to leave it in B tier. I think the deck functions really well. The Gabite's really cool, but it's just kind of, I don't know. I think it's higher than Rocket Mewtwo. I think it's higher than Grimmsnarl Frostlass. I think it's higher than Mega Lucario. And Zoroark, I just think there's too much tech options potential, especially with the tree lock. I kind of just want to leave it in the top of B. But we'll see. There we go, Slotbox. We'll talk about Slotbox. I think Slotbox overall, there's something there. I think Slotbox is probably a B tier deck. I've seen like the End Plans variant. I've seen so many different variants of Slotbox that there's got to be something there. I think it's better than Grimmsnarl. Probably top of B tier if I'm honest with myself. I just really like Zorak's archetype, but I can see the argument for Slotbox. There's something there that will make it good. At least that's my train of thought. There's just so many different variations and varieties, and one of them has to be at least decent, or at least decent into the Dragapults and the one prize decks. It just feels good if you hit the right matchup. But like for example, if you face Alakazam, you have a Mega King as an active. He just takes 3 prizes. He creates so poorly into it. It just feels bad. So there's something you can do with these matchups. I feel like you can do really good. It's just not there yet for me, at least. Next one is Festival Lead. Festival Lead, actually, I want to put it S tier. I really do. I think it's the best one prizing attacking deck after testing, even if we're watching some gameplay. I want to put it here. I think it is A tier. I'll put it top of A for now. I think Straight Pull by far is the best. But I think Festival Lead is definitely really strong. So we're gonna put it there. I think just there's so many options. You basically have quick search on your whole deck with the Rillaboom and then the Applin with the Festival ability. You could kind of like just trade very positively into people, and you don't get countered that hard at least. Dragapult's definitely rough, but you play the Raptor to protect. So Festival Lead is really strong. I think it has really good matchups into almost everything. Dragapult Dusknoir can be a little rough for it. Alakazam Dunsparce, I feel like you win. Any other deck besides just straight Bolt, even Dragapult Dusknoir, feels really strong. You can't go right up the board as you are just like really single prizes like your Applins or its Diplins have 40 HP, and without the bench press set up pretty quickly, it feels like it can be a problem. But it just feels strong with the right hands. If I was going to a local and I'm like a newer player, I feel like Festival Elite is a deck that you can actually play and win with. A Crystal, I think Crystal always has to be B tier. It would be up into like A or S, but there's just too many like one prize attacking decks that give Crystal a really hard time. If you face a Dragapult, or if you face something as Garchomp, Rockets Mewtwo gives it some trouble. A Grim, a Raging Bolt, yeah, Starmie, like Crystal just wins straight up. But it's a matchup deck, so some matchups are really good, some matchups you just lose. I think Crystal eventually can win a tournament or like plays really well. If you're going to locals, you can play Crystal. If you're going to the League Cup, you can win it with Crystal. It's all matchup dependent though. Crystal is just a matchup, what's the word? A matchup dependent deck. So I don't think it could go anywhere other than B because it is strong. If you play Crystal, I think it's better than Lucario, Rockets, Mewtwo, and Grimmsnarl. So put Crystal in the middle of B. I think it's something that Garchomp could deal with it, as you could just attack with Gibbles or the Roserades. Not the Roserades, just the Gibbles and Spiritombs. So that's how you kind of beat Crystal. Other than that, though, you're kind of just out of luck. Team Rocket's Honchkrow. I think this is actually a stronger Team Rocket's deck, and it's a pretty strong one prize in deck. It's basically Raging Bolt Oligapon, but with Team Rocket's Pokemon. So I think I want to put it in B tier. I like it more than Crystal, I think. I don't think it's the best one prize in deck. I think Alakazam Dunsparce is. But looking at the board, it can beat everything. It can have a good early game. It just feels kind of eh. Sometimes, especially with playing like Rotostick, feels weird, and just discarding all your supporters feels weird, but it is really good. So I put Crystal in the start of B tier. The next Frostlass Monkey Dory, it could either be Mega Frostlass or just Badoo Frostlass. I think the deck is not still kind of bad. I think it's maybe C tier. I think it's C tier mainly for the fact that it's strong, it's cool. You can item lock them out of the game, building up the damage, monkey dooring them over. It just feels like without the Iono and Counter Catcher, the deck just feels a lot worse. It can still be played, don't get me wrong, but I just don't feel like the deck can actually win. It can't win consistently. At least that's my thought process. Ceruledge is interesting. I think overall it's a C tier deck. I also can see the argument that Ceruledge is really cool and can have the potential to go all the way up here in A or A tier at least with the right hands. I think currently it's like a C tier deck. I just don't think I have enough reps on it. I don't see it enough. It's good into everything, or it can be, but it also feels like your two prize attacking thing and a bunch of one prizes with legacy energy running around. If you're facing a two prize deck, I feel like Ceruledge is good, but it doesn't feel good into the one prizers basically. So Team Rocket's Honchkrow deals with it. Festival Lead can really, really punish the Ceruledge. Slowking even can board wipe you turn 1, or turn 2, I guess, with the Kyurem, because you need time to set up, and you don't have the consistent way to wait for your setup and wait for the engine to be discarded anymore. I think Ceruledge is C tier. I think it's actually probably top of C, because I feel like the deck has something there at least. Next is Greninja. I think currently Greninja is in C tier. I think the deck is fun. Dusknoir Greninja is really fun. Grand Tree's cool. You kind of miss the Pidgeot a lot, and it feels like you need a little bit more. I know we're getting the Mega Greninja. With the Mega Greninja, I feel like the deck can maybe jump up to B tier. For now, it's C. I think it's better than the Frostless Monkey Dory at least. Slowking I actually really have fun with. It's a really cool deck, cool concept. I think Slowking as a one prize deck, I just feels eh. I think it's probably either bottom of B or like top of C. So I'm gonna put it in top of C for now. I maybe just not seeing enough or not having enough reps against it. Soaking feels fun. It feels cool. Like the boomerang energy, like giving the energy back and just having like one patch or attach return to it is good. The telepathic psychic energy makes the deck stronger. I just feel like if you're going to play a one prize attacking deck, Festive Lead, Alakazam, or like Okidogi just feel better to me. Joltik box, I don't know, haven't really seen it. I've been playing with it a bit because I love Joltik, but it's basically just a worse slot box. So I'm gonna put it in D tier. There is something with Pikachu. If like 3 prize and 300 HP Pokemon continue to be a thing, Pikachu can be like in a Terra box or a Joltik box or something. It's just not there for me right now. Clefairy Ogerpon I think is A tier. It's like the Ogerpon Meganium, except it's just like I guess it's slot box, but more defined slot box because you're using the Lily's Pearl. So the difference between slot box and Lily and Clefairy Ogerpon is just the Lily's Pearl, and you basically only attack with Clefairy and Ogerpon. A slot box allows you to attack with like anything. I think this deck is actually really strong. It's strong into the Dragapult for sure. I think it can have a hard time into like the one prize decks, or you could see it lose to a Team Rocket's Mewtwo or a Lucario. But into like the most stuff, I think it's really, really strong. Steven's Metagross, I want to put it D tier. I've played like maybe like 30 games with it. I think it's really cool. I just wish it was better. I really do. So I'm actually gonna put bottom of C. I think it's better than Starmie. I think it's better than Joltik. It's just not there for me yet, at least. So the deck is cool. The deck is really fun. Steven's Pokemon are really cool. The Metagross, like being able to basically use it as like I don't know how to like it's a Blissey EX, but you could like choose which attackers you want to like power up per turn. You have 2 of them. You could do some really cool things with the deck. I think the deck has some potential. It's just not very consistent. I don't think it's very good. Terra Box is interesting to me. Terra Box, if you look at it on paper, I feel like there's something there. I feel like with like the Noctowls, with like all the stuff, I feel like there's something there, but I just don't know if it's fully fleshed out yet. I think Terra Box can have a place in the meta, like old Terra Box with like the Wellspring, the Noctowls. Noctowl feels strong as you don't really have like a draw search, and you just pick 2 cards, and you get like Unfair Stamp, Crispits, and stuff. I just don't think it's anything there yet, so I think I'm gonna put it in C tier, maybe top of C for now. Okidogi Barnacle. I really like this deck. I think this deck has potential, except against Dragapult. So I think it's one of the better one prize attacking decks, but I just don't know if it's there quite yet. So I'm gonna put Okidogi Barnacle in B. Also, I'm gonna move down Grimmsnarl Frostlass right now. I'm moving these down just because looking at the board currently, it just feels like it's out of place. I think Team Rocket's Mewtwo's a lot better. Same with Lucario Hariyama. We'll do a full review after and maybe move stuff up and down. But Kangaskhan and Bouffalant, there's too much fighting going around, and there's Dragapult. You're actually pretty strong to Dragapult if you get set up, but there's item locks, so you can't even press Trial anymore, and first attempt's the best. So I think Kangaskhan and Bouffalant's actually just a C tier. It's probably top of C currently, but yeah. Ethan's Typhlosion. Ethan's Typhlosion is really cool. I think Ethan's Typhlosion is a really fun deck. Competitively wise, though, it doesn't really have good matchups currently. And, like, most of these decks can take over. Like, Dragapult, Festival Elite, Alakazam, you're just better one-prize decks. Your Stage 3 one-prize decks, too, so it makes it, like, way worse for you. So I think Ethan's Typhlosion is sadly D tier. I was actually really excited when this card first came out. Played a lot of Ethan's Typhlosion. It's just not there. The Dunsparce Control. This is a new archetype. I think Control does have a somewhat cool place in the meta. I've seen it, it won a City League. It's fun. It's cool. In the right hands, it can be like an A and an S tier deck, but for the common average player like that I am, for me, it's like a C tier deck. So I'm going to put it in C. I think Steven's Metagross might have to move down. Yeah. It hurts me to do it, but Steven Metagross is going top of B for now. Greninja Frostlass, this deck, I don't like it. I'm just going to remove it from the tier list. Oh, there it is. Good Ninja Frost Toxicity Brew Bonnet. I've played a couple games with it. I love the Dark Box archetype. Is it good? Is it better than Steven's Metagroves and all the stuff in D tier? Yeah, so I'm gonna put it in C for now. You know, Frostless Monkey Dory is gonna be top of D. I like kinda how it looks right now, so that's probably why. I'll move my cam up to the top right, just so we get a full view of my final deck list. So I moved the camera to the top right just to like kind of show you all the final deck list in its true form. This is what I think how the meta is going. I think Dragapult obviously is top one. I like Festively the lead as the my first one prize the deck, then followed by Dragapult Blaziken, Dragapult Dusknoir, Alakazam, Ogerpon, Meganium, Clefairy, Ogerpon. I think these two are the best grass decks. And then B tier, I have Okidoki, Barbarnacle, Slowpox. Slowpox actually, thinking about it in retrospect, like I'd rather play Rocket's Honchkrow than Slowpox, and ends over that too. Cynthia's Garchomp, I think I just need more reps in. I think it can be better for me, but personally, I think Slowpox, I just like it a little bit more. I just like the playstyle. Crustle, I think, is going to go to the bottom of the list, mainly because Crustle is good, strong. I just think if you play Crustle, you just don't want to play the game well. That's just my opinion. Hey, if you play it and you love playing Crustle, then Crustle might be S tier for you, but Crustle for me is bottom of B tier. I think Lucario's good. Rocket's Mewtwo, I feel like might be a little bit underrated. That might be the one comment. Let me see how this looks. This is purely based on vibes right now. Yeah, I kind of like that better. I feel like Enzorok is good. Rocket's Mewtwo is good. Synthesgarchip's good. Potential a wall deck. So yeah, I like how this looks a lot better. And then tier C, or like my third tier, I think Grimmsnarl is probably the best there, followed by Terrapax, Slowking, Sterilage, Dunsparce. I'll put Regibolt over the Dunsparce, maybe even the Greninja, just to make people more happy. I'm here to please you guys, obviously. So we're gonna please, the audience here with that. And I think D tier, I kind of like how D tier looks. You know what? Bias opinion, Ethan Typhlosion over Kangaskhan, Buffalon, the walls. So here's my deck list overall in the current meta game. At least this is how I feel. If I was going to a local, I'll probably put any deck in the S or A or B tier. Just play where you're comfortable. Play what you've been practicing online or practicing in person. I don't think the format is so narrow that it's like only the top 3 decks like it was last format, or top 5 to 6, like Gardevoir, Dragapult, Grimmsnarl felt like the top 3, and Goldango 4th maybe before rotation, and Enzorok was in there too. I just feel like it's kind of open and it's all kind of matchup dependent, and when the matchup dependent, it's also a lot on what you're drawing. So if you're drawing really good, the deck feels fun, it feels great, but I think right now it's all depends on what you guys are comfortable with playing. I'm going to locals on Saturday. I'm not obviously going to Prague. I'm not that rich yet. One day, if these YouTube videos blow up, maybe. So at locals, I'm probably playing Lucario Hariyama. One, because I could punish and be really aggressive, and I just like the deck. So if you like the deck, just play the decks you like. That's my tip of advice for everybody. So I will do it for today's tier list video on the current post-rotation format. The next format, I'll make another tier list video around the same topic with my own opinion and my own experience. I am just a casual dude who likes playing Pokemon. Am I competitive? Yes. Am I like a world winner or a regional winner? No. But this is just how I feel the meta game is. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.